very much so. The person that's coming up, she has a YouTube channel that's I would say they're fairly popular on YouTube. Where one of these guys seen her, he was so flabbergasted to see her, he like kneeled down on one knee and said, "Oh my gosh, she's Chez Chardé." And I was like, okay, embarrassed, but that was like my teacher, who's my teacher. I'm like, bro, like, why you ain't leave? I'm like, come on, bro. But yeah, that just showing the capacity and the brightness that she had. I said, we're really happy to be able to bring her on. This is our first live podcast. Just to show you like the vision, what we're looking to do at this space in general is we're looking to turn have this space be a place where we can tiny desk concerts. You know what I'm saying? We have Fox Theater right down there, Paramount Theater. There's a lot of great people coming in here from San Francisco, Oakland, etc. We would love for this to be a little small, little exclusive, intimate vibe place where we're having tiny desk concerts, live podcasts, etc. And so like I said, you guys are part of one of the first live podcasts here. We also want to applause. Yes. So I said, it's getting bigger and better. I said, right now we have 2 podcasts for Chez Chardé and also on BCTV. And right now we're about to be able to have Chez Chardé take us away and see what we're going to be talking about today.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Thank you again for the introduction. And just thank you everybody just for being here. You have to bear with me. This is my first time actually doing this stuff in person. I'm always having conversations about love and Black love and all that stuff, but it's a whole nother level to be able to just do it grassroots, with people around. So just thank you guys for this opportunity. Today, I'm really excited about the topic. We'll be talking about a couple of things, but it's related to all things Black love, marriage, relationship, because those are things that are always relevant. So I'm going to start off by talking about something that is always making the rounds, I feel like, in the internet, in the online dating space, in the Black love space, in the relationship space in general, and that is 50-50 relationships. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Then we're going to transition into Black love and marriage and whether or not marriage even makes sense today. So before we get started into some of the initial questions, I want to start off by giving you guys a snapshot as to what is actually going on in the dating market. Because what happens right now is I think it's really easy to kind of get in silos, you know what I mean? Like women over here talking to things, men over here, we have our own little family system, we have our own little family culture. But it's hard sometimes to really get an understanding of what is actually going on generally. Like what are people across the board experiencing as far as dating? So I want to start off by giving you guys some stats, giving you guys some information as to what is happening today in the dating market, and then we can go into some questions, okay? So starting off, if we go into this whole idea of 50-50 relationships, I hear that thrown around all the time now with respect to, okay, well, should women be paying more? Should men still be paying all the bills? Gender roles, what does that look like? So just a few things. Right now it says, although gender roles around femininity and masculinity have evolved, in the area of relationships, not much has changed. A recent study that looked at Gen Z suggests that heterosexual men and women, right, maintain traditional dating patterns, no matter their political or social views, right? So if you're a woman attracted to a man attracted to a woman, today in 2024, where everything is gender equality and women can do whatever men do, whatever, as soon as it comes to dating and mating, everything becomes completely traditional. It doesn't matter if she could be a raging radical feminist, she's still gonna want the dude to pay in most instances. This is what the data suggests, right? Because for example, as I mentioned, a progressive feminist will likely expect the man to pay on the first date. So one study showed that men pay for dates 90% of the time. Women pay for dates 2% of the time, and 8% of the time they split. Now, a backdrop of that, right? This is what's going on today. Again, men are still basically paying or expected to pay whenever it is the first date, whenever they are courting a woman. That's the expectation. The backdrop of that today is that you have about anywhere between 65 to 80% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck, meaning most Americans are not rich like that, especially Gen Z, especially folks who are in college or right out of college, you just don't have a ton of money. Almost half of Americans do not have in emergency savings. The average income of Black men today is around $50,000, right? So I'm saying all this because we have these traditional expectations around men still needing to pay the bills, men still needing to take women out on the first date, men still needing to be providers. But the math don't really math. When we look at the economy, when we look at, the inflation, and even when we look at feminism, it kind of creates this really complex, right? This really complex dating dynamic. So that's just a little bit of a backdrop. And with that, I want to ask you guys, with some of the information that I gave you today, is it reasonable to expect men to pay 100% of the time in a feminist society that believes in gender equality? Again, I'll repeat. Is it reasonable to expect men to pay for 100% of all dates, for all first dates, in a feminist society that believes in gender equality? That's my first question. Does anybody want to start off? Well, I'm starting with the panel, but if somebody in the crowd wants to speak, you're more than welcome. I'm open for feedback. You want to do something to say? Yeah. And if you want to introduce yourself and your name and all that, feel free to.
Hey y'all, it's Bonnie B again. So I actually have a really interesting perspective when it comes to this. I think, just like what I just said, it depends on your perspective. It depends on your personal goals in your relationship and your personal experience with that other person. I would say yes. But with saying yes, I would expect a man to pay 100% of the time and to fulfill a role to provide. It doesn't mean that it's always paying with money. Money, dollar bills, all these points we have on our cash app, they are points. Mm-hmm. There are a whole bunch of IOUs in trading of currency. So when we start breaking down what currency means in relationships, it starts to look a little different. And that's why we get so complex, because we can't expect to understand the next person fully. We have to continue to grow and communicate with this person so that dynamic will continually change, just as you do as a person. Now me, I just said, yes, I expect a man to provide and pay 100% of the time for what it is that you do to pay me. But in my most recent relationship, I've paid more. And that's out of the love of my heart. That's because I feel inspired to do it. Mm-hmm. Now, if your partner feels inspired to provide for you or to share an experience for you, what value does that hold to you?
Okay. So I want to make sure I understand. So you're saying that, generally speaking, let's say you're meeting a guy for the first time, right? Maybe you met off a Hinge, online dating app, whatever. That you would generally expect for him to pay unless you were inspired otherwise. Is that what you're saying?
I think if we're dating to marry, we have to consider the dynamic that the on provides. Men do provide a certain amount of protection that can be in different ways, whether it be financially, physically, mentally, emotionally. So again, it depends on where you place your value.
Okay, so then you're saying that you think it's more based upon the individual person. In your opinion, you think it's like, generally speaking, women should always pay. Oh, I want to make sure I'm understanding your point. Or do you have something else you'd like to add? Okay.
My point is, if you're not dating that person, stay out of their pockets.
Okay. If you're not dating that person, stay out of their pockets. Would you like to respond? Yes.
I don't want to come off if I want to hear the divine masculine for that, but what you're saying, what I hear from the divine feminine perspective, because I can only come from that perspective, is that if you're dating with intention, it's the intent for the nature of what you're dating. For now, a lot of people just don't live with authenticity. Okay. And also, I found as an intellectual and associate that a lot of people date from their trauma, the trauma all the way from childhood that they haven't dealt with. When you get to a certain age, spiritual level, or accomplishments, you go through an ego death or dark night of the soul. When you do that, it comes to you having an understanding about yourself, because we know that whatever you give or you are, you're going to really project. So self-love first is the best love first. But in that, you see what you're dealing with in the dating world.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to make sure we understand. So your perspective, unless you guys are like officially together, you shouldn't be in his pocket. So like, you're okay, first date, walk in the park, you know what I mean? Just going to the beach. Like, there's no expectation that because it's the first date, he has to drop 200-300, how much money, right? And then I want to make sure I understood your perspective. You are saying that as far as connections are concerned, your connections a lot of times are based upon your health or lack of health, right? And that's going to determine the dynamics of the relationship. Did I understand? You understand your point?
It's the
Okay.
intention with what you did.
It's
I
the-
got sidetracked, but it's the intentionality.
Is it? Okay.
If if you know that you're going for your husband or you're going for that type of relationship, or you're looking for a marriage, then of course the dynamic are always going to change. As a person that's conscious, you know that it will be 50-50 sometimes. Sometimes it will be 20-30, sometimes it will be other things. But what I think the sister was saying too is I honor the divine feminine. I'm a divine feminine counterpart. I'm going to feed you as you feed me, which means it is naturally in the divine masculine counterpart to be a provider. So it should be natural in him for the woman he loves want to take care of that. In that, he should understand if I'm dedicated attention, that I'm pouring to him the same way he pours into me. And like the sister just said, it's not always monetary. Energy is currency. Effort is currency. So that makes a big difference. So I feel like if you're kind of just vibing and on the regular day, like you said, in this economy, if we have the understanding to know that everybody's struggling, well, let's go out on like a day where we're at the park and we kind of coming together, because then you understand more than monetary or surface level. You understand dynamics, and then that's how this person thinks and how they will work with you in times of struggle. And again, it's about intentionality. If you're dating with intention, you're not just dating to have a sleeping or a fun party. You're dating for a partner that's a business partner, a partner that's going to rock you when you have hard times, a partner that's the mother and father of your children, a partner that when you get sick or when you get broke, can they stand in and take the mantle? Can they nation build? So it's all about intentionality. Sorry, I have time to take them.
No, it's okay.
Be sorry.
Love to hear the divine
Sorry.
masculines.
Let's get the
Right.
divine
Now, did any of the gentlemen want to say anything?
You go.
Would you like to speak?
I think I will be speaking from this older generation. What I've heard so is so powerful. And what I see in the younger generation, that they are discovering how powerful they really are. Even though as you said, and all of us, if you in any way come to understand how powerful you are, it's because you went through something. Some really difficult things. But the thing is, when the soul has been crushed, the spirit is so powerful. And so I'm looking at men and women, especially Black men and women, very powerful. There's so much strength, and sometimes because of that, we miss each other. We don't connect. Because Black women are powerful, and Black men. And so what I began to understand, because I've been married for 40 years, and my wife was very powerful. I had to understand that. I had to open my heart to how powerful she is. And so, as I realize that, I have to understand that there are functions. My wife is so powerful in discernment. Most of the time, men don't understand that a wife or a girlfriend are seeing things that you don't see. And sometimes you think they're crazy because they see things that in the man's blind spot. The man can't even see it. The woman to keep coming back to you and you think she's crazy. But she has discernment. And that's a gift of protection. So I learned that my wife can protect me even as I protect her. I've learned that I'm built to withstand pressure. Men, you need to know that. We don't run away from pressure. We are built for it. We're the very foundation of the relationship, and that's load-bearing function. So I know my wife covers me. She covers my heart. I have a blind spot in my heart. I cover her mind because she's 1,000 miles ahead of me. So it's, you see, like men and black women missing each other. Not taking the time to discuss, not the weakness. Yes, we went through trauma. I'm going to say it again, my soul is shaken. But I see the power is in the spirit, prevailing spirit. Spirit where there's vision in the spirit, you're seeing things. And then I want to give you just a, please, have it in your heart, somewhere in your heart, that you are not going to work with someone for the rest of your life. And you need someone to work with to accomplish. So whereas my wife has discernment, I have vision. I have to see. I'm required to see. And she has to encourage me to see sometimes when I can't see. She said, baby, you are the one that's going to tell us where we're going, and I'm going to get you there. Come on. I'm over there. I'm over there, but I've seen it. I have to learn how to work with it. I have to make it my objective every morning that I have to know how to work with my other half. And when I was looking for a wife, there's nothing wrong with looking. Because I've been married for 40 years, but I've been a pastor for over 30 years, shepherding people. So I know people. I'm not a traditional pastor that's trying to tell you what you're doing wrong. I can never see that because the gift is to see the good if I'm going to have love. And so my wife and I learned to work together for years and years and years. And every day I can't take it for granted. I've been changing every day. So I'm going to say it again. It's not easy, but anything that's worthwhile is worth the effort. I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to put forth the work that's required when you want to get to know this person on a deeper level. But just casually finding someone, casually dating, running away from the pressure when you're built for men. If you understand this last thing, I didn't even talk much, but he who finds his wife finds his good thing and finds favor with God. So I found my good thing and I found favor. Is it easy? No, but again, it's worth it. And so I'm thankful to see what I see. I see all the beauty. And I especially speak to men, the strength of being that covering and that protection for our white women. We have to have that. We have to have that in our hearts. From a little boy, you got to teach that. Because with the strength of our people, and we got to love each other. Love covers. Covers long. Then when you come down to trauma, you might speak out of hurt sometimes. But can I cover you? Can I cover you and get you in a place where we can have a conversation? we can talk about the things that we've been running away from.
Mm.
Can I wait until you stop yelling?
That part.
I'm telling you, you can't yell all night.
Right.
We could try.
So these are the things from old school, I guess.
Oh. That's a mic drop. The podcast there. So, like, you got something to say?
I just want to say you got the patient Joe, because I was just like, man, with the yelling and screaming. I don't want to leave the room, but you gotta wait and just let it ring out. So I appreciate you for that.
What'd you say? Oh, I don't think this one isn't working so well. Yeah. So much, such a rich word that he just shared. Did any of you guys have any feedback? Yeah, some back there you want to say? You want? Okay. I think he's gonna go real quick. See if that might work. Okay. Oh, that was working. It was working.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what we got?
Conversation.
Uh-huh.
Do whatever works for you in your relationship.
Mhm.
If it's 50-50, go for it. 70-30, go for it. If it's he pays everything or she pays everything, go for it. But as it relates to like the general conversation on social media about 50-50,
Uh-huh.
I personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Uh-huh.
I understand like.
Oh, something happened with the mic. Can if you want to come over here and speak, you can. Or can you grab the mic? Yeah, the mic came out. I'm sorry. Or if you want to come use this one in the meantime while it gets that fixed. Oh, is it work? Sorry about that, y'all. You come over here on the. Okay, you don't have to be over here, but that's fine. Uh-huh.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with 50-50. Inflation is real.
Right.
And if you're talking about a statistic where most Black men or men in general are making about 50K on average, especially if you're living in California, that's not gonna cost that.
Yeah.
To be honest, like at some point in a relationship, you're gonna end up going 50-50 anyway, even if it's not financial. Or you should be going 50-50 on a relationship in terms of like what I have 100 to give. Do you have maybe to my 20? Do you have 70 to my 30? When we're talking about emotions, when we're talking about mental health, like can you match what I may or may not have in the moment? Like if it's not financial, it's gonna be something else. And I just don't think there's anything wrong with shared quote unquote responsibility in a relationship to know that you support me and I support you.
All right. I completely agree. You got it. Thank you. Yeah, I know you don't. If it goes. Okay. Did you guys have any? Feedback or to that with respect to the?
So I'll say as probably the youngest person here. That especially because I'm on a college campus,
Okay.
right? I have these conversations with other Black men, also men that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
And the pressure is there, right? The pressure is absolutely there because a lot of the time, right, you see somebody that looks good,
Mhm.
say what's up, how's it going?
Primal.
Yeah, no, it's primal. And it's like, you gotta make sure you check this, right? A lot of times it's like, oh, you got a fade, right? It's lined up, right? So hygiene kit,
That's real
Right.
hygiene.
I mean, that's a big one, right? But like, kind of go down the list. Like eventually, like, all right, like where are we going? If you look good enough, a lot of the times, right, you can get away with a little part, right? So these someone else, right, you know, isn't as expensive or hit the wall, but for just a lot of younger people that are just starting to build, right, that's starting to come into wealth, it is pressure, it is challenging, right? And for me personally, right, I am the type of person that generally pays. But with that in mind, right, I'm not stupid in the sense that, it's what I can afford pretty much, right? Pretty much
Mhm.
the only thing I can do. But whatever you do, that's that natural thing because I feel like, as what you were saying, that you have to sort of give out and ask, expect to receive something. And so always you want to try to put your best foot forward in that aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I play a devil's advocate question, which is
Right.
very interesting? So like the brother said, especially with us, we're talking about us. Do you feel like pretty privilege or the better you look or present will have you get away with more when it comes to that? Or do you think that our people in the dating world are more conscientious now? So even the brothers being more conscious about, say, sisters that just want a meal, and sisters being more conscientious about not being seen with certain levels. So do y'all think that pretty privilege in our community with our peace, when we all are beautiful people, get you more leeway in the dating world? Or do you think people are more conscientious when it comes to their dating style?
Yeah, you want to go? That's a great question, but you can go first.
So I'll just say absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Million and one.
Absolutely. Because the way that I get treated versus the way that some of my other friends get treated, completely different. Some of the stuff I'm just like, I don't think I can deal with it. I don't think I can deal with that. In terms of conscientious, I think this is the new age, right? So like we have online dating, you have Tinder. A lot of the time it's like just looking at somebody, looking at sort of their resume, right? And then yes or no based off of that. So you're already in the line, you pretty much know somebody without really knowing. And that kind of leads to all the different types of issues that we have going on.
I think that's a really good perspective, actually, because as we come into the new day and age of technology, we already have speed dating in our phones.
Mhm.
Like, nobody goes in person to do speed dating anymore. We fill out cards and we try to get to know each other face to face. We have this black mirror where we can potentially FaceTime, or maybe I just won't answer your text. There's that level of how much intention does that person actually put into something if it's not face to face. A lot of time when we're going on these dating apps, it's like, okay, I'm gonna message, I don't know, however many people I think are hot, and maybe I'll respond to them if I have the capacity and time to get to that. Because I might as well just swipe on Instagram or TikTok or some shit, and I'll have more entertainment. Because there's a lot of lack of intention going into the communication. It's kind of like watching porn. You kind of don't want to be there, but you kind of feel like you're supposed to because there's primal instinct. But because of this lack of intention that we have in this face-to-face world these days, like, it's hard for people to just say hello or smile and return a smile or say excuse me or take the time to see a pretty woman and bring her a flower. Like, before we had technology, which I wasn't really there, I was lucky enough to be given Game Boys. And I don't think it was until I was older that I started getting flowers, because people decided to put that intention and effort into that interaction. It's a choice to be creative. It's a choice to go out of your way and be like, I think that person deserves something special. And when you have this phone and you're going through these dating apps, and it takes away that special kind of that special.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, a lot of good and interesting things said here. Back to your original question about whether or not pretty privilege gives, more leverage for some of the ladies. I think you answered the question. I think we all probably agree. The interesting thing about it, though, is that I do think it goes both ways. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, but I personally know, right, and have seen, witnessed, experienced times where women will have standards, always, apply to a particular man, right? But if the right man comes in that's looking right, 6 feet, 6 figures, all of that, 666, like if he looks the part, then those standards might be a little more lenient if he's just cute enough. So I really do think it goes both ways. It might look differently. I mean, down to where you have women who are willing to pay for dudes. Like if he's in a tough spot, maybe he's going through something, like if he's putting out some way, in whatever way that may be. So it really goes down to like see how they say men are visual, women are visual too. I think especially Black women. I'm not mad at it. I was like straight up when I was dating, I was like, I don't want to be with an ugly guy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I got all the guy that I was attracted to, and I was upfront about that. I wasn't lying, But I think all of us, if we're really honest, like, you have those things that are on paper, like, okay, because no one wants to come off as shallow, but we're still flesh. Okay, we still all have those little things. We're like, man, it's nice when the person you wake up to every single day is attractive to you. You know what I mean? So I really do think it goes well. That's just my 2 cents. So I don't know if you have anything. Just take it all in. Yeah.
I definitely respect and honor that perspective, but I would say that, beauty is fleeting. Just like flowers that bloom during spring, wilt during autumn time. Like it comes to this cycle of growth and resurrection to where you have to be able to endure the spirit more than, the physical. And I think, and this is coming from somebody who's actually very nearsighted, so you guys know I'm not nearsighted. So I, a lot of the time, will notice somebody by the way they walk or the energy that they bring when they're talking to somebody. And I'm like, oh my God, I know that person. And it makes me want to get closer. Like I do know this person, or I want to know this person more before I'm like, oh, they actually are attractive. How do they speak to me? How do they speak about themselves? How do they speak about the people in the space that they're in? And those things. And I'm coming from a more demisexual, sapiosexual perspective, polyamorous as well. So I have just kind of, I wouldn't say indifferent, but I kind of just have this honoring relationship and dynamic within myself to where I respect people as individuals and love is love. So for me, it's kind of like, you can be super attracted by everything in the book, but you could just treat this one person incorrectly in the most just horrible manner, and it'll just be all like, out the window.
For sure. Yeah, no, beauty is definitely just not how a person looks. Like I said, the package helps as far as first impression, but okay, yeah, package helps as far as a first impression, but there are, like I said, I also know people who they may not be considered conventionally attractive, but they have a great personality. They're lovely and they have no problem in the relationship front. So, there's so many different unique dynamics to this, but a couple of things. You want to say something? Yeah.
So, as a mix of all of everyone's answers, I feel like in this day and age that social media has really messed a lot of the actual dating up for people because they don't really believe in courting people. So, when you don't believe in courting and you haven't seen it, you don't have anything to model after or emulate. So like Pastor was saying, you have to teach young men how to court women and vice versa. But if your parents met on the type of time that you're meeting people now, then what can they really teach you if that's not their dynamic? Or what can you really teach someone about marriage if you've never experienced it? So, or long-term relationships with anything of that nature. So we have a lot of people who don't even have the ability to have any role models. Yeah. So we're going off of the gratification that we get online, but that is nothing more than what a person is showing. There is no personality. You cannot tell what a person's like online. That's only what you perceive. It's not the reality. So you can fall in love with the filter, but then you meet the person in person and they're not a good person. But I can also say that there is still people who are actively dating. There's still a lot of quality people out there. There's still a lot of people that meet everyone's standards when they have them or set the bar for that. It's just a matter of what exactly you're looking for or the way in which you choose to present yourself. So in person, if you decide that you want to be a baddie all the time, and that requires maintenance and everything else, then of course you're gonna have to be with someone who can maintain that, because that's expensive for you, for them, for whoever.
Okay, period, queen.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a matter of what you deem to be realistic for you, because everything is possible. But then you have to know that if you fall into certain stipulations and situations, that everything comes with a cost of some sort. So you can be with a rapper or whatever the case may be, but then on the back end, you're not talking about all the things that you may deal with personally at home. And it's not just cheating or things like that. It could be this man is insecure or whatever the case may be. And then for yourself, if you are one of those baddies all the time and you go out and nobody gets to work you or whatever the case may be, like, people are dealing with things that are deeper than the surface, and that's what you have to deal with in a relationship. Anybody can go to dinner or lunch, but what do you do after that? This time you spend together, that's what carries you to the longevity of a relationship, or even if you were to graduate from a relationship, to be able to have a friendship because you didn't treat a person poorly enough to where you can still be amicable in the future, because that's a thing too.
Yeah.
So, I just think in this day and age, you can have whatever you want, but it's a matter of being honest with yourself and knowing that you can have standards for yourself, but do you meet those? You have to be honest about what you attract. Why are you attracting them?
Absolutely.
You know, you can't attract raggedy if you're not raggedy.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
Thank you.
Perpetuate yourself to be something, because at the end of the day, the person that is with you is going to see the truth.
Yeah.
So it first starts with honesty with yourself, and then everything else after that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So a lot there, and you guys all touched on some really beautiful things. A couple of things that I wanted to tease out a little bit. Earlier, you mentioned the divine, feminine. You talked about, feeling innately sometimes the desire to pay, even though you go to you attend a college that's, very progressive. When you're at a day, that's still traditional. Something inside of you wants to pay. I know you mentioned, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. The interesting thing about marriage right now in America, and just the Black community in general, is how it's been on a steady decline for quite some time, right? So currently about, I think, 1 out of 4 Black women in the United States, last I checked, if you have stats, you can share with me, but according to at least the Black demographics census, yeah, it's bad, right? He's saying 16%. The recent stats that I saw showed about 1 out of 4. If you have sources, please share with me, because if it's gone down, I wouldn't be surprised. But anywhere between, 1 and 4, he's saying 1 and 6, but around the Black women are married. And for men, it's slightly higher, about 1 out of 3. This is according to the U.S. Census. If you look at blackdemographics.com, it really breaks it down. But and then, about this time, 50% of Black men in the States, or 100%, are single and childless, right? Aren't married, don't have kids, aren't in relationships. Marriage is very much a declining institution, and then Black kids in particular, I want to say over 70% of them are raised in single parent households who are not with, parents who aren't married. So you mentioned that point, right? Where it's like, where are they getting their values from? Bishop mentioned the point of how he who finds a wife finds a good thing, but my question is, if you have generation after generation after generation of people who are not growing up in households where they're seeing men and women together, operating as husband and wife, how do we know? How are Black women being trained to be wives? Are Black men being trained or taught to be husbands? Where are they getting these values from? Because that is really crucial in building the Black community. You have to have thriving families. So sounds like you.
I have a little bit to say about this, and I think we actually mentioned it a little bit earlier, how marriage is a business dynamic. And the Black community is not being taught the financial literacy skills, given the resources that we need to thrive. So we don't see value in marriage at that point. Money is money until we need to invest and flip it and start putting names and deeds and titles and LLCs, then that's kind of where our community gets puzzled. Because we don't have that skill, we haven't been given that education.
So you're saying you see marriage as a business. I'm not sure I understand. Very, very interesting.
And I actually am giving you that perspective from a polyamorous point of view, and this is why I meant we're coming into a dating age as young people, we're aren't doing it correctly, and that also has to do with the lack of financial literacy.
You have something you'd like to add?
I just want to add from my perspective, basically, I hit a lot of boxes. I'm from the immigrant community and I'm African-American. So I'm Afro-Latin. I come from an immigrant family, second generation. And I also was raised here in the town too. So I know both perspectives. From my immigrant perspective, I was always raised to be a wife. I was always raised to know my divine femininity. And like you said, I say I'm just a relationship or sexual per se. Love that out free spirit, which means that I respect people for who they are, allow them to be as such, but I live by a moral code that I have standards I expect another person to live by. If you love somebody, you accept them for everything they are and move forward as such, but the reciprocation has to be there. So as you said, in polyamory, I see it different, and I see it from an immigrant perspective and an American perspective. And this is something I bring up a lot, because like you just said, where I'm from, it's about nation building first. It's about building of the children, building of the household, financial stability. But there has to be a lot of trust there, right? There's so much African-American post and pre-generational trauma that goes on that there's not even a start. We need to start from the children, how people affect the most vulnerable and want to take advantage other than build them. So in order to be healthy in polyamory, which is nation building and forming a structure that can build into something that can self-sustain, that needs nothing from the outside, you must not hurt the most vulnerable, our elders and our children. So it's too much intersections with that. But from what I'm seeing it as, again, also, I come from a system of single mothers too, that have also had to live and go through cycles of being dogged out and men, but I've also come from families where a lot of my people were married for years and years and years. And they rocked through what they had to rock through, and they got through what they had to get through. So for that, even in nowadays, even though I'm very cultured and I'm very current, I desire to be a wife. And if anything, I'm not saying I have a fantasy about being a wife, or I'm just trying to look at somebody to save me. I'm talking about that divine balance, that divine connection, being a warrior woman and a leader that is like, I'm doing all this stuff, I need somebody to share it with, but I need that trust, I need that balance, right? Even if I'm dating, I need a divine connection. I'm not trying to play games. I'm not inauthentic, so I don't have time for all that. Salute to everybody that want to do that, because I believe in everybody having fun and living your life. But be real to yourself about how you're dating, what you're looking for, and allow people to do the same. So even if I'm dating, I'm looking for a divine connection where I'm not playing all of those games, and I'm looking for some type of standard. I do believe that it is the way you were raised, but I've also been in social work for many years, and I know that it goes both ways. Some people fall into their generational curses, and some people are generational curse breakers that say, everything that I've seen, I don't want to do that. I want to stop that cycle. And I've also seen that in couples that have stayed together and been toxic. Therefore, they raised people that were made to hide and be something on the outside and then be totally destroyed on the inside. So it all goes all ways. I personally believe in myself that, yes, the way you were raised determines the way you date. Again, my parents have been together for 20 plus years. My uncles have been together for 20 plus years. The women in my family have overcame the men in my family as well. So I do have that standard, but I also believe that people that have been through and want to break the generational curses and cycles also say, I don't want to be in that, and they can break it, or just want to do something different. I believe we're in the age of Aquarius, where a lot of people are learning the things that did not work previous for our elders, our ancestors in our future, and trying to go about it different. The core of it starts from being who we need to be, accepting everybody for who they are, and bringing back the balance of the divine masculine and feminine. Without you, there's no me. Without me, there's no you. We are not against each other. We are perfectly aligned with each other, and we are not each other's competition. We are each other's bride.
So on that, you mentioned many things there, and I appreciate you breaking down and just sharing the perspective of, having the immigrant background and having the immigrant background and how that has impacted your perspective, and then also having the African American and Black American experience growing up in Oakland, and so you have a lot of different vantage points. I really want to ask you a question and tease that out, but it looks like we have to go to intermission. So when we are back from intermission, we're going to continue because all of you guys have made some really beautiful points. But I want to be mindful. Yeah, all of you have something you want to say. I think we have a quick intermission and then we will continue with this conversation. Hold that thought.
Check. Yes, sir. I still kind of want to answer that question. You said 50-50 or no? What's the actual reality to? What's the summary?
Well, there,
50-50
which
or no?
one?
50-50 or no? That's
From
it.
what I think,
Uh-huh.
it sounded like these lovely ladies were taking it from wrong. But basically saying it's like, it's really based upon the individual person. But neither of these women I see are materialistically like, you gotta pay $500, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it sounds like it's really more about like that balance and what do you guys both bring to the table and how can you guys both go collectively versus being like, it has to be all the dude. And then once the dude puts out, then I'm gonna decide to be feminine. That's what I
That's real. That's real.
It's not somebody shaking their head like. Now, the stats, like I said, the stats are different than what we're hearing today. I'm not saying that you guys are, different, but there's a lot going on. Small sample size.
For sure.
So, yeah. So we have some more we're going to say, but I wanted you to.
We're gonna go to intermission. We're gonna go get this question and then we're gonna go into intermission.
Okay.
Hello.
Y'all can just say happy birthday to my husband.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
They got one. All right. So do they have any questions or we were just doing birthday shout out? Oh, she's gonna do birthday shout out. That's all good. Okay, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to the married couple in the building.
It's Virgo season. It's Virgo season, right?
Oh, that's mad at it. It was my birthday.
Yeah. Virgo
We'll
season.
be over here for the back after the intermission.
Okay.
And now we'll have a 30-minute intermission. We'll be playing some music. What's called real
Okay.
play. Yeah. We'll have a few minute intermission,
Okay.
play some music, and then we'll get back to the conversation.
Okay.
All right, family. Talk to you on the side.
All right, again, my name is Mohammed. You guys know my name is Mohammed Shuaib. I'm going to do it one more time. We are doing a blind date. It's a blind date opportunity. If anybody is interested in a blind date opportunity, raise your hand. Okay, so we got one. And right here. This is blind date. Right here.
That's what's up. We got it. You gotta do it again.
Check, check.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Intermission.
to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
So Hey, everybody. We are on a quick intermission. We're on a quick intermission. I know some of y'all were like, where's Shay at? Where's Shay at? I'm here. We're on a quick intermission, but then we're going to go back in a few minutes and then finish the panel. So I'm upstairs in the little VIP lounge chilling. We have like a little blind date thing that they're doing right now. We have a little blind date section, and then downstairs everybody's chilling. They're all, getting their food, grabbing their drinks or whatever, and then we're going to be back. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. What's going on, Demetrius? It's good to see you. Y'all, this was so last minute. All of this was like super last minute. I think I posted about this, 2-3 days ago for the first time. And then like everything came together super last minute. The live, I was initially going to do the live, like just the members. And then the camera person I got, they were like, let's just do for everybody. So anyways, my point is, thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you for just riding with me. And the whole thought is for those of you guys who are jumping in. I'm collaborating with a local business out in downtown Oakland. And the thought is I'm going to start doing some more regular podcasts around likely related to relationships, Black love, things of that matter. We're thinking about maybe organizing a singles night or a singles event. There are so many singles out there. There are so many people out here who are looking for love, who are looking for relationships and just having a hard time connecting. So I'm happy and excited to be that connecting piece in whatever capacity, whatever way I can. Still, a lot of things are a work in progress, but this night at this particular lounge that I'm at, 1701, I mentioned, was dedicated to having a podcast where we're talking to different people and we are having conversations around love, around relationship, understanding Black love, understanding what's been going on, understanding what's impacting people. So it's been a really, really rich conversation so far. We have a panel of a whole bunch of different people. We have me, obviously, married woman. We have some single ladies on there. I think one is demisexual, polyamorous. Another one I think is on the spectrum. And we have Bishop, one who's been married for 40 years and pastor a church. So we have a wide array of perspectives on this panel, and we've been talking a little bit about Black love. So within, I think, just about 10 or 15 minutes, we will be back. We're going to continue the podcast, and then we're going to, we're going to continue it, and then we are going to wrap things up. So that is where I'm at. If any of you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys again for joining me super last minute. It's almost 8 o'clock here, and I know a lot of my members are probably asleep. A lot of my followers are probably asleep offline because it's just so late. Like it's almost 8 in the West Coast, so in East Coast it's like super, super, super late. So this is their animation. That one playing the guitars. Yeah, the one playing the guitar. That's my sis. She is so talented. My sister's so talented. Anyways, so that's what's going on. That is what's going on here, family. Thank you for hopping in, hopping out, and as always, on the way, like, share, subscribe on the way in. Pass this along to anyone that you think may find this interesting, and then I'm gonna be asking for your feedback probably in the near future. As I mentioned, this is my first time doing something like this. This is my first time working with this particular establishment. So we ran through. There's been a lot of kinks. There's been a lot of trying to work out things, trying to make things right and tight. Since it's almost it's late. It's late. You said, so our members live still happening? Yes. Demetrius, have you been getting my notifications at all? I just did a members live on Monday. My goal is to still continue to do members only live. My goal is to do members only live at least every Monday. So that's not going to be changing. This particular event that I'm talking about is something in addition to that. Now, this is something that I'm going to be manning in person. Primarily, I'll be handling these events at this location, at this lounge. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. Today, we're focusing on a podcast. We're doing a relationship podcast, but we have many other ideas. We have a blind date that's literally happening right now that happened from this event. And we're thinking about playing around with other dating show or just dating possibilities. So that's completely separate from Members Only. Members Only Live will still be happening. This is something additional that I'm working on with Chez Chardé, and I'm just not trying to figure out how do I want this. Not only like how do I translate this into what's going on online. I hope that makes sense. Wait, okay, what do you mean you don't think so? Are you saying that you have not been getting my notifications or you haven't been getting my lives at all? Because I just did one. I did one literally on Monday. And then the Monday before, like my goal for the members only lives is to do something, have something every Monday at least for the members only live, bare minimum. So let me know if you're not getting that, because if so, that's a problem. It says the fact that Black people is having this discussion is a step in the right direction. Yes, we've had a really great time so far. As I mentioned, the panel it's a wide array of people. You know, we have me, I'm a married Black, relatively new, depending upon who you talk to, married Black woman. We have single woman on there, one who identifies as demi pansexual, another one who I think is intersex on the spectrum, a wide array of things. We have a bishop on there who's married for 40 years, pastors a church who has done marriage counseling. We have a young college student. We have somebody who I think is engaged or soon to be engaged. We have a wide array of people on this panel. So, and this is the reality of today's world. This is the reality of the dating sector. So, it's very, very, very interesting. Yes, okay, that's kind of cool. Great. So thanks guys for hanging out with me. I'm just here to try to keep time until we go back. I should be going back in I think about 10-15 minutes to continue the panel discussion. If you guys have any specific questions you'd like me to ask, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. Yeah, people let everything divide them. Yeah, that's absolutely true. People absolutely let everything divide them. Also, guys, if you like this show, y'all know the best way to show support to people like me or just to let people know that we are doing the right thing is showing love on the Cash App. Chez Chardé, right? Cash App, Venmo, Chez Chardé. Also, super chats. Show some love on the super chat if you like what's going on here. If you really appreciate what I'm doing or find value, that is the best way to let me know. So, Cash App, Venmo, Chez Chardé, super chats are always open. Also, if you're not a member, I don't know why you're not, because you should be a member already. Like, join the channel membership. You can do so for as little as $4.99 a month. Like, that's nothing. You can be a channel member, get access to members only lives. I prioritize members' comments. And we have a fun time there. It's a much smaller community. A much smaller community there. And I do lives there more regularly. The lives for all of you guys, for like the general public, it's a lot more sporadic because I just have so much going on, but I try to prioritize my members only lives each week. So if you are a person who would like to connect with me more regularly, you like live formats, you like hanging out, that is the best way to do it. You can, again, only as little as $4.99 a month. I'm sure y'all can afford that. I just thought it was a video, not a live. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, no, it was a live. Yeah, no. Yes, join the member squad. Yeah, join the member squad. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Y'all playing over here. Y'all playing. If y'all want to see more uplifting content, y'all got to support it. It's on the Black community to change the narrative, right? So as always, if you guys have any specific questions for the panel that's going to be coming up, I think now in about 10 minutes, let me know. I can try to weave that in there. We've had a really interesting conversation up to this point. I know there's so much noise going on right now. I'm in a lounge. I'm in the VIP sector trying to talk to y'all before we go finish the rest of the section. But thank you guys for being here. Let's see what we had going up, everybody. Did this take place in San Leandro? No, this took place in Oakland, downtown Oakland. We are in Oakland. Yeah, I see that. It's more of a fashion icon than. Are you a fashion icon, educated Tyrone? And prior to. Okay, I'm just looking at these comments right now. I had my, what's going on, Snug? It's been a while, Snug. It's been a while since I've seen you in the building. I have my husband back here manning the live. So shout out to my husband who's been doing that. Right now, you guys have me here before I go back to the panel, but this is why I'm now running through the comments, having a chance to see what's going on. Okay, yeah, we're in the lounge from Oakland. Tupac Shakur had a lot of love for Oakland. Yeah, that's my family. Whose birthday is it? Oh, it's just people's birthday in the building. That's all. Sounds like BGS slipped through. What's going on, BGS? He probably left by now, but Okay, I'm just catching up on the topics. It said, did you get my idea for the next members live about the concept of social evils? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Can you expound? Do you mind expounding upon that? Did you leave this? Did you like leave this in the comment section on one of the members only live, or I'm sorry if I missed it, but please, if you don't mind explaining, let me know, and then I will. Maybe I can feature that in my upcoming live this Monday. I'm gonna try to do. Thank you. Yeah, so right now this is a pretty dope spot, you guys. I know I mean the Bay in general there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of fear mongering with respect to the Bay Area and specifically Oakland. There is so much fear mongering connected to there's people that I know in the Bay who don't want to go to Oakland because they're like, oh, it's so dangerous. And look, there are some sketchy spots. I'm not even gonna lie. There's some crazy stuff that happens out here, but there are just some beautiful things about Oakland too that are just that I feel like you won't really find anywhere else. So I'm in this beautiful lounge here, it's black female owned lounge. She's been so generous to open up the spot up to me in a business I'm collaborating with called Black on Broadway. And she's just been so generous to open up her space and let us have these collaborative conversations and to have, to just have these community events. So this is actually my second time here, right? And my second time here, I'm already running a podcast. So that just shows you how much beautiful opportunity there is and how much beauty there is out here in spite of all of the fear mongering and in spite of all the crazy stuff y'all probably done heard online about Oakland or just on the news, okay? You could have left the ideas under the page. Please email it. I'm so sorry. I don't know how. I found myself trying to make it a point to prioritize what members say for sure. So I'll have to go back and double check and see if something got missed. But yes, this is my email if you want to email me. So thank you guys for hanging out. A lot going on. Fun. It's been a fun evening so far. I look forward to doing more stuff like this. My plan is to do more in-person community or just in-person live events when I can. I understand a lot of you guys tuning in are from different parts of the state. Some of you guys even out of country. I understand that, but what I can do in the community is great. I think it's cool to collaborate. Yeah, that's my email address. My email address is open for anybody. That's my work email. So it's like if people have questions or if they have a subject or something or something feedback, I'll get right on that. Okay. Thanks. So for those of you who are not, you're not aware, if you're not a member, one of the things that I do with the members usually is, we have regular live, usually on Monday, we do members only live. More like oftentimes it's a Q&A format. So it's like if you have any particular questions, if you have a specific subject you would like me to cover off, or just kind of want to have a conversation, that's a great way to do it. So that's what we do oftentimes on Sundays. People aren't always able to join, which is fine, but they may go back and catch the replay, or in the place of his number Demetrius. He's going to be a topic he wants to review, and then I can try to incorporate that into my next members only. We can have a conversation about it, or if nothing else, it could just be something topic that I cover off. So it's really a great way for me to connect with you guys personally and ensure that the topics, the ideas, and things that are on your heart, I'm able to address. Because, on these larger platforms, as my channel grows and as I just get more content, it's really hard for me to be able to connect with people individually. So that's what I love about the members only. It gives me a chance to really be more personalized and make sure that people are getting ultimately the experience that they want, or that they're having their questions asked, or the topics covered out that's the most of interest to them. So that's what I love there. Also, Patreon, man, I've been having a lot of fun on Patreon, reading through Dr. T. Zon Johnson's book. I will add this, you guys, my computer broke, which is also why I mentioned earlier in this podcast how last minute this whole thing was. I kind of told you guys last minute I was doing this thing. This live came up last minute. My computer broke in the midst of me trying to organize everything. So that's also why I wasn't able to give you guys as much of an advance notice, but I'm planning on doing this or something like this regularly. So next time I plan to have this event, I'm gonna try to give you guys enough notice. So if you want to stream in, if you want to tune in, if you want to join, you can. So, but I need my computer to do that. Right now I'm actually using my husband's computer, but hopefully my computer will be available in a few days, and then I can bring everything up to speed. I can get my videos back up. I haven't been able to post a video. I need to post stuff on Patreon. So that's what's been going on with me. And then this stuff, me trying to do this community organization, my computer breaks down that I use to organize everything. That's just not fun. I have the speed date event. We are working on that. That is something we're actively working on. I don't know if it'll be the next event. I need to clarify what my next event's going to look like. I'm probably going to finalize that next week, but I will let you know. Are you in the Bay? Are you close? Are you in California or Northern California, in this area? And am I going to get into that? Honestly, I feel like I need to get a backup computer. Seriously, because this happened maybe like a year and a half ago. And I was like, I probably need to invest in a backup computer so that when things like this happen and I'm out of commission for like a week trying to get a part, I can still work. So I need to do that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Oakland, I've been here my whole life. I was born here. It's like, my family's here. Like, this is home to me. There's some crazy spots, obviously, but it's not all the negative hype. It's the Austin of California. Been here for a minute. But yeah, I'm also interested to connect with those who are locally. I had somebody who said that they're going to come. I had a member who said that they're going to come and try to join the event, and I just don't know what happened. I didn't hear from them. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you plan things kind of last minute, which is what this whole thing kind of came together really last minute, honestly. That comes to the territory, but we're working on trying to get ahead and trying to plan things more ahead so I can give everybody more resources. People locally who may want to come. We are working on. You said I heard right. Yeah, no, Oakland is everything you heard is true, but what you're not hearing is a good side. Because Oakland is also a place where you'll go and you will see white people with walking dogs and yoga pants, drinking lattes, right? Like I said, there are rich parts of Oakland, there are beautiful parts of Oakland that are like super hot, super wealthy, where it's like there's no crime there at all. There are parts that are like very mid. Downtown Oakland is a dope spot. Like you have restaurants, you have so much going on in downtown Oakland. It's just the diversity of people. The lake that's right next to it is a beautiful spot, Lake Merritt. And the thing about it is, like, what here is. Okay, sorry. I think that might be my cue. The thing about Oakland is it time to go? Okay, sorry. The thing about Oakland is like timing is everything. Like for example, if you go to the lake, there's this popular lake. That is like people go through all the time. It's surrounded by restaurants with like spas and stuff there. That lake is a dope spot. They have events happening. They have like food vendors. It's a really fun spot. Past sundown, you don't want to be there. Are we ready? Okay. All right, guys. So we're about to go back. We are about to go back and finish the panel. I just wanted to hang out with you guys. I wanted to connect with you, let you know what's going on. We're gonna go on a really quick, maybe like 2-minute intermission. Gonna get this thing set up again, and then we're gonna go right back into finishing the panel discussion. Thank y'all for hanging with me. You said if you have another speed, I'll let you know, because it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So, but to answer your question, yes, the plan right now is for me to do an event every month at this particular location. Right now it's a dating panel. We did have a blind date. We had one blind date in this dating panel. But I'm working with the team right now to think through, okay, what is this long term? What is this going to look like? So I envision having speed dating opportunities. I envision having other different dating panels. So I will definitely keep you interested, because this is an ongoing thing. And the owner I talked to said she wants to do a singles night. So that's a whole other thing. I also might be hosting a singles night and another day entirely at this location. So stay tuned. I will definitely keep you posted. Okay, so we're gonna go back to, oh, we got 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, we have somebody here who said if we have a speed dating event, they'll fly out for it. So we just gotta finalize it. Come down so that you can hit this up. Okay, so guys, we're gonna go Good to see you, Snugs. Good to see you, Snuggles. It's been a minute. Okay, guys, we're gonna go back down. As always, like, share, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. Show support to your favorite content creators. Cash App, Venmo. If you've been in here for some time and haven't shown no love, I know what y'all doing, but y'all know better than that. So let me go back down, and I'm gonna put you on a quick intermission, and then they're gonna get this thing set up so y'all can see the panel, and then we will finish. We'll finish things out. And thank you guys for joining. Very last minute, super last minute. But thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, let's go to another intermission.
You know, you go over your comfort zone, so as long as you stay out there, so well, it's not even going to.
For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you've seen me through, for every blessing.
Y'all always think, always love the Black on Broadway said they have some, oh, you got it. Every time it's always love. They want to treat it like, oh, long run. It's always love.
Many questions, and we haven't even surfaced all the questions. So, you have something here.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, just because we had the opportunity to share space. How did that experience shape your perspective on dating?
Rest of the question.
I don't think I'm very sick. That's why. See, something to do. More than that, so I think, yeah, if you were in a position to meet somebody, heck, just go out, just go ahead and go and hang out. That's wrong. To way more than that, it's a wonderful thing.
So you're in the like casual space, not like, you know, like look for a long term or like cruising, focusing on yourself, focusing on your phase that you're at. Okay.
I'm not really trying to force a relationship. I said that is really doing, looking for a relationship, but it's not right now for the business, and that's my purpose. What place they really about this possible. Yeah, I think everyone has a purpose, and if you have it, yes, and I think people will come through this, and that's what I have to do. It's my heart. Yes, feel like everyone should experience, what is the relationship, whatever it is, and like, love us, you are special. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That was interesting because I wanted to kind of talk. We like only the first one, but that's fine. But you know, something that I hear is this idea of while you're building, whether it's you focus on that, and then once that is all together, or once that's solid, then it's time to start.
Closer, little closer, closer.
Okay. Then it's time, so it's this idea that, you know, once my the money's right, whatever, that's the time to start a relationship. So are you guys saying that you have to, it's important to be financially sound before you are qualified to get a long relationship? Or is that something that you do simultaneously? This is, I would say, the primary push people who are usually the response that always hears like, oh, career, and the they will go to school and they will be working together to get the long better apartments. You know, they did that stuff as a not generation. You have to have all those things together first. So for you, do you have
I think it's a natural state of being human to want to be loved. So if you find somebody that nourishes your spirit and your heart in a way that kind of inspires you to take a step forward, not only for your relationship but for yourself, that is what allows you to be spontaneous growth. So you're kind of choosing at a point to be alone just because you would rather not be able to have that.
okay? I know.
It doesn't have to be a couple, but it can be if you choose for it to be, and not just when you're.
Yeah. But that's fine. I can talk about it. I will even solve it. I won't
Oh yeah, like I don't know where they went. That's true.
Your
Yeah,
balls
we
now?
always right.
So I think we want to move on to that.
It's just enunciate and speak.
Yeah, just use your diaphragm until they get that taken care of.
I was going to say practical answer. So what you said is, should a person be financially stable before they think about a relationship? And or if a person should develop their career first and then think about a relationship? I've been a social worker. I've been in many industries. I can speak from personal and from real experience with people. I would say a lot of people that have children young, they were not financially ready. Sociologically, they were not financially ready. There's a lot of things I don't agree with in traditional education, even though you need to be educated, but it teaches socialization, help open up world view.
Uh-huh.
So when people sometimes have children at a young age and they're not financially ready, of course, it's a big barrier. Huge setback. And when you don't really know a person, you're going by things that we're talking about that because of sometimes the way that people were raised, then they're falling into things that makes it more of a struggle, right? But I can speak personally as a woman of power, as a businesswoman, as a single woman, that has been in a relationship and marriage, and things that came out of it. And you are a high achieving, intelligent, and beautiful woman. Coming out of career is very much harder today for a multitude of reasons. A lot of them are post-traumatic slave syndrome, but a lot of what I get in here are because you have words.
I'm sorry.
You have words.
All right. So I usually dress really sexy. I have a nice body. So
When men first meet me, they may see something, but when they talk to me, I get that a lot of men are intimidated by me. They're intimidated by the way I present myself as a divine feminine counterpart, in touch with being a strong woman, but also divinely feminine, which means that I naturally give respect. A lot of people see me and say, "Oh, it's a light, it's a vibe." You know, I'm usually one in the background running things, and the light precedes itself. So sometimes, and it's not a lot of brothers' fault, but it is a lot of things that have been made in America to hold the brother down that have permeated into their brain, got into their psyche, and really affected them. So instead of us being able to have generational growth and wealth and learn each other, we've had to always be fighting individually and collectively, right? So a lot of men haven't been able to reach the level that I've been able to reach for one reason or another. Also, I'm not gonna lie, let's be real, especially in Oakland, a lot of people are used to and resonate with toxic relationships. So I'm not in a toxic system either. You know, I'm spiced up, you know, Afro-Latin, but I'm not toxic. So a lot of people don't know how to handle me not being toxic, not putting the trauma bond, not doing back and forth, not doing certain things. I'm human, but being aware and in touch. So you talking about is it hard to date as a woman with a career? Yes, unless you kind of dumb yourself down some. And that also is because the society standards what they perpetuate in the media of the representation of us as young and every age black men and women too. So they perpetuate that men want a girl with a BBL and a ratchet girl and people that don't care, and women want and they're attracted to and resonate with toxic men and things like that. So where is the place for people that are balanced and not toxic? Where is the place for somebody that's successful but not all ultra feminists that honor the divine masculine? I'm not saying I want to be a man or stand in the place of a man. I'm just saying treat me as your divine counterpart that helps you to get to build the kingdom that you build. Don't treat me as nothing less.
How do you find this divine people? And for me, I'm just patient. I'm just waiting, right? Like that's why I am where I am. I'm not trying to dumb myself down to fix something I don't fix. Your relationship is not good. So my question to you is, how do you find this thing that is for you? Like, I mean, for me, I was just waiting to find you. You have to get advice.
No, I don't have to.
Because I'm gonna keep it short, but I was gonna say discipline is number one. I was gonna say, but do you be you, don't judge. Hey, like grandma said, date them all. One place we fall to is that if we are dating, you're not a husband yet, you're not a wife yet. People get stuck on the person and choose that person and fall into that. You have to be able to choose to know what you want. But discipline is everything. A lot of people date by their trauma and surface level things, which is totally fine. So everybody got that understanding. But your discipline, if you're looking for a divine counterpart, is everything. One in the self-love is everything. And usually with the universe, most high ancestors, whatever you believe in, you attract what you are. So everybody will start with that. I'm gonna pass it to the brother.
Did you have
Yeah.
something you wanted to say?
I'll say something.
Okay.
Oh,
did you have something?
Right.
I don't like the word qualified.
Okay.
I think what is more appropriate for the best outcome
I talk about this with men, with women. If I'm not, so I try not to have conversations around about women. The rules are different for men than they are for women when it comes to dating. What kind men should most optimally. And there are three things that men must do. You must build a boat, learn to sail, and keep the course. And those are analogies for amass some sort of resources, building a company boat. Have some kind of skill or competency, learning to sell, and plotting a course, have a direction or a purpose for your life. And I think mistake happens is our purpose as men is to go, and excuse my language, pussy. That becomes our purpose. I want to get laid. And we enter the dating market with that as a priority. And because that becomes the priority, and as both the men here who can speak to this, I'll speak for myself. Being handsome and tall and British in America, women were easy. They were. I'm just being honest. Women were easy. Everything was challenging. And then I met my current girlfriend, and nothing about me mattered. My charms, none of that. I couldn't manipulate her. She like it's all right to me. It didn't matter. And she forced me to build a boat, passports, and learn to sell. Because I realized, like you said, man, like my normal pattern, my system that I learned from many years of success with women doesn't work anymore. And so, going back to the original question about should men, and this is the first question you asked, should men pay for the first date? I think, yes, the expectation, and there's nuance there, the expectation is different from what will actually happen. I think men should expect and be prepared to pay for dates, but you might run into a woman who's like, I want to pay for this date, but that should not be the expectation. And it's changing more and more, like the young lady said here, because women are becoming more financially capable and independent. And in fact, Black women are one of the fastest growing economies in America, as well as the highest educated group of people in America. Black women are, and Black men are kind of falling by the wayside. And so the rules have a little bit changed, I think. But yeah, men should expect and be prepared to pay for dates.
No, I appreciate it. I wanna weigh into whether you mentioned something about finding the divine partner. I can say certainly for me, actually my husband, being a Christ follower, that's been having a relationship with God has been everything. You know, and it's funny, you know, I grew up in like really crazy scripture girls, like things are very dogmatic and relationship with God is personal. What I've come to understand now as an adult is that, you know, having a relationship with Christ has been, it's a very intimate, day by day thing, where I get divine guidance every single day what to do. So in the part that my husband, I remember God gave me calling about what to expect, about how he would be. And then I met him, and things that necessarily haven't planned out, but I look back at my prayer and I'm like, wow, I was talking to you. And so there's this one pastor that talks about good life is from the Lord. It's a gift from God. And there's something about when we are pursuing and we're in an intimate relationship with our Creator, how all those things come into place. So I think discipline is certainly a part of it. Inner healing, all those different things are important. There's something about having that connection to our Creator, who not only created us, but knows the right purpose. I think that is so crucial because He knows things about us we don't know. He knows our past, our future. He knows that red, right, that side piece, that woman that's going to help birth the vision inside of you. He knows where she is. She could be on the other side of the road. She could be down the street. The thing I'm finding about walking with the Creator, my relationship with Christ, is that it's a day-to-day thing. It's I wake up and I'm getting guidance. It's like people be telling me, this is how you're going to be. And I'm like, I got this. I got this. And so I found that I think the foolproof way to be open to receiving that divine gift is being connected. You know, so I just want to add that in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're good. I wanted to. Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, you continue. My focus at home. Yeah.
Beyond the line. So this go, this is
Call me Mash.
Joaquin's.
That's nice to meet you.
So the national thing, you're gonna do a vote. Wonder how they say it. Force. Yeah, if you don't go back.
Knock us to your microphone, please.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. And then after I think we're gonna have to circulate the gratitude post a little bit. So if you don't mind, yeah, no, you can share whatever you wanted to, and then I wanted to leave the final words to Pastor who's been sitting here patiently. Like I said, 40 years of marriage experience plus 30 years of pastorate and marriage counseling. Some interesting things to add. So yeah, no. I call you Bishop Pastor. How you like so much?
You can call me.
He called Robert.
We'll be sure to set that down. What's at home? Ability to stay aligned to your calling or staying aligned to your course. They were all wonderful things. And for me, I'm a creative, spiritual, I'm not religious. You're not expression of self. I think that's my heart. Right? So we are following my own path, your own path. Music, going out to your things, performing at different spots, my basic people. Everyone else, they're true to what they do. And that belief will be that will bring it and move on to the truth. Guidance. Let's see, all guidance. Finding that connection is something that people stick on. It's any sort of situation. That's taken away from us told to follow whatever it is. People talking about trying to go the topic about your purpose. Just figure out what your purpose is. You'll find a wonderful, beautiful place where you're supposed to be at. Really wonderful people. And yeah, I'm really sure it's a beautiful day to find your purpose.
Thank you so much.
I think on that note. Yeah, let me hear what you have to say too. You mentioned purpose, and you know this how being connected purpose can be to relationship and marriage. So we'd love to hear your final thoughts, your personal wisdom, perspective.
Man, you're about to drop some wisdom. I'm ready. My ears open.
Stop it.
One of the things that I can understand, because I lived a long time. And what I understand is that everybody's in a hurry. You want to do what you've been called to do yesterday. But everything that you have to wait on, work, that's going to become where you have to understand that anything that's just given to you, it's not as precious as if you wait for it. So I have a son and I have two daughters. And my daughters are always trying to help me out to understand what's happening in this day and age. They said, Dad, you don't understand. We have to be chosen. We can't choose. So my heart always is, I want to empower people. I said, do you understand how precious it is to be chosen? It means every day you have to have your light on. So your husband can find you, and believe me, he's looking. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, you're getting to know yourself. I heard that. Because if you can't get along with you, you won't be able to get along with anyone. So it takes some time. Then you have to understand how precious it is to struggle. And I'm not talking about struggle love. They correct me all the time. That's not struggle love. I'm talking about working together to build something. We've been married 40 years. We have a lot of things that, we didn't have it. But it didn't matter because we had love. We loved each other, and we had dreams, we had vision. And after 40 years of marriage, we are realizing some of the fruit. It's been fruit all along, but it's not waiting. And you have to always renew your mind, because you can be thinking wrong. You can start out thinking right, and then you become toxic in your own thinking. You have to always renew your mind. You got to always have a goal. I want to think right. I want to be thinking wrong. I want to be running after things that are not even for me. These are things that I've learned after just living and watching and understanding that you have to allow people to make a mistake. And one of the things that I learned, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. Sometimes we haven't forgiven ourselves for things that, just simple things. And you just made a mistake. You chose wrong. But I found that when I choose wrong, then I can look at that and I can see and not make that same mistake again. Again, and be so in a hurry. I tell my girls, don't get in a hurry. Enjoy your life. Go on and enjoy yourself. Don't think that a man can make you happy. And don't think that a woman can make you happy. Don't allow yourself to marry before you are whole in your own self. Marriage is not two halves making a whole. It's two wholes. You're coming together and making that oneness. And this is the final thing that I'll say is, before you're ready to make covenant, marriage is covenant. Again, you can't go into covenant thinking that if it doesn't work out, I'll leave this. I tell my wife every day for over 40 years, I ain't going nowhere. And you'll be surprised how that instilled in someone, because you never know what trauma they've gone through. So it's important that we realize that you can't be in a hurry. I find that everyone in our church has given a testimony. They're talking about the hard times. But they're not talking about it like when it was hard. They're talking about it like it was something valuable. And that's what I learned. If I can impart this to the generation that's coming, and you're just in a hurry. They can find enough time to build what God is getting you to build. Sometimes we're looking at somebody else's garden and we're saying, well, they didn't have to go through what I went through. They are called what you were called to do. And sometimes over 40 years, I've seen people get it quickly and lose it. And I've seen people come by little by little, day by day. Here a little, there a little. All of a sudden, they have much more than they thought they had. This is really the last thing. You have to learn how to be what you're looking for. My father passed away when I was 8 years old. I was thinking that I wouldn't even know how to be a man, how to be a husband. I was looking everywhere, trying to find something that helped me learn what I thought I was missing, because we always think we're missing something. And when I learned that's what sin is. It's feeling like you're missing something, you're missing the mark, you're falling short. That's what sin is. When you have that, you can never be happy. So I had to learn. I was trying to look and have somebody teach me how to be a husband, a father. Then all of a sudden I learned that I had to be what I was looking for. And now I'm father to many sons and daughters. A man that didn't even know, father passed it. And when I was 8 years old, I was angry. His bitterness came out of anger. Taking my father. What I thought, couldn't even communicate it, didn't have the ability to articulate it. And that's anger, and so many people are angry because you think something's been taken from you, you're missing something. And I realized I was full. Again, I just decided to be what I was looking for. I can be a bit smart. I can decide that it's not something that just happens supernaturally. We just spoke abracadabra. There it is. That was bit by bit, day after day. These are the days I'm going to talk to you. But we're all going to make it to that place. Sometimes you don't even know you're there. We can just have our head down, just to the grind. You never realize you have what you're looking for, and God has answered your prayer. You have it. And you always have it. Everything that you ever need is already in you. Outside of you. Pursuing outside things, thinking that it's in you. The most uncharted place is not the depths of the sea and outer space. It's in you. You don't know what's in you. I have to learn day by day. This little big boy that I learned and discovered myself. But I'm not going to quit. That's the last. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit.
That's right.
But you can't fail if you don't quit.
Lost is closer to a
We
win.
sometimes quit when reach out and touch it. And be careful what you say. If you say it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. If you say that you're never going to find someone, it's going to be really hard for you to find someone. And if you say that, as a woman, my husband will find me. Because I am his good thing. I am his favor. And I say as a man that I'm gonna choose right. I'm not gonna be one that is complaining about the woman I chose. The power to choose and power to be chosen. Look at men that said you have the power to choose. And that's why I was able to say that I chose right. And I'm never going to second guess myself. Don't ever second guess yourself. You have enough enemies that surround you. Don't become one. Don't become a critic of yourself. Don't second guess yourself. I will stop here.
Oh, wow, come on now. You're here.
Again, thank you guys, just everybody. Shared their thoughts, shared their perspective. Special shout out to.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Rob.
Premarital and even really appreciate all of this. This he has to offer.
It's time for the toast.
Yeah. Time for the post.
I'll use Daddy's cup.
Man, can we please get it up one more time for Chez Chardé and all the partners, please? Walker, finally. I got some questions. Yeah, it's all. Appreciate that. You're hitting my spirit. Let you right with that. I really don't, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys for being here. Right now, we're about to get ready to do our toast, which is actually a part of the culture, I would say, of Black on Broadway. We've been doing these events since the beginning of this year, actually. So we started in January. Family, I think we should get a little round of applause for that.